What is up, Mouse fam? Welcome back to another ranking. I just returned from Orlando, Florida for my preview ride on Tiana's Bayou Adventure at the Magic Kingdom. So that means today we're going to be ranking every single water based attraction at all four theme parks at Walt Disney World. With that being said, let's jump into it. All right, a couple parameters before we get started. Our ranking is only going to include attractions inside the four theme parks. So, unfortunately, that means we're not going to be including any of the slides or aqua coasters at Typhoon Lagoon or at Blizzard Beach. We're also not going to be including any of the boats or anything like that that goes through the canal system. We're only going to be talking about the four theme parks at Walt Disney World. With that out of the way, let's jump into the ranking. Coming in last place at number 12 is the World Showcase Friendship Boats. These are the boats that run around the World Showcase in Epcot. They were not running for a long time during COVID, but they are back. Unfortunately, right now they're cycling through docks, so they're not always consistently at the same country, but they still do exist. You can still ride them. They're still listed on the Walt Disney World map. Unfortunately, for their sake, there really isn't much to this ride. It's more so a transportation scenery thing. They are beautiful. I absolutely recommend everyone riding them if you've not before. It's a really beautiful way to take in World Showcase, especially on a hot day. Unfortunately, there really isn't much to these boats besides just being a nice escape from walking, so they come in last. Coming in second to last at number 11, it's a Small World. Subjectively, I just don't think this attraction is very good. I think the version of Disneyland is much higher quality, being that it's, the original ride. It's got that Disney charm, that Walt charm, and it's got a better facade. I don't think that this works very well at the Magic Kingdom. Obviously, it's a classic, so a lot of people love it. I just don't think it's a very good ride. I don't think it would hurt the Magic Kingdom if they removed this ride, and I wouldn't be that upset. So it comes in second to last. Coming in at 10th place, beginning our top 10, is the Liberty Square Riverboat. Just like number 12, the World Showcase Friendship Boats, the Liberty Square Riverboat is a really, really nice attraction in terms of slowing down, getting off your feet, taking in the beautiful scenery. So it really is a nice attraction. I don't really have anything negative to say per se about the Liberty Square Riverboat. This kind of goes for the rafts that go over to Tom Sawyer's Island as well. Nothing negative to say. I would recommend everyone ride them if you haven't, but unfortunately, there's just not much to them. Most visitors to the Magic Kingdom will skip this over. So these don't really get a lot of crowds. They're really, really nice to do. Unfortunately, they just don't have much going for them. So they come in at 10. Coming in at number 9 is Journey into Water with Moana. Now, this is kind of a cheater entry, right? Because there is no attraction, there's no ride vehicle here, like every other entry in the list. There's not even any boats. So you could probably take this out if you didn't want it. But I really like this attraction. And I think that it's a water based attraction at Walt Disney World. So I included it. In terms of things to do at Epcot, this is actually higher on my list than even some rides. I think Journey into Water is really, really beautiful. I think it's great for families. It's great for kids. It adds that nice, fresh, break from the heat while you're in Epcot. So I really, really like this attraction. It's beautiful at night. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a ride vehicle like we talked about. So it's kind of hard to put it higher on this list. It really is just kind of a walkthrough type attraction where you're not really going to hang out there too long. You're not going to, rope drop it in the morning. So unfortunately, I wanted to put Journey Water higher, but I just can't because there's not much going for it. But this is a beautiful, beautiful entry and a really good addition to Epcot. Coming in number 8, the world famous Jungle Cruise itself. If we're going by wait times, this probably comes a lot higher on the list. Unfortunately, I think Jungle Cruise at Walt Disney World is a little overrated. It gets really crazy waits. It's a super hard lightning lane to get. And unless you rope drop it, you're probably going to be waiting a pretty long time for this ride in a pretty brutal queue. Jungle Cruise is obviously a classic. It's obviously, a really, really fun attraction, a must do attraction if you don't make often trips to Walt Disney World. Unfortunately, there's just not much going for it there. Every other entry on this list, higher on the list, I think has more going for it than Jungle Cruise. So while it is a really good attraction, unfortunately, Jungle Cruise can't come in any higher. That brings us to number 7. We're going over to Animal Kingdom for only one of 2 water rides at that park, Cali River Rapids. Cali River Rapids is really a love it or hate it type attraction for most people. I feel like in terms of a River Rapids attraction, it definitely falls short in terms of length and in terms of ride time. It really is just an up and down back attraction. There's not much else to it. I really like Cali. I think it has potential. I think it has a beautiful setting. I think it has an amazing queue. Obviously, it's really nice to get wet when you're in the Florida heat. So I'm actually a fan of Cali River Rapids, but I totally understand the shortcomings it has and why a lot of people don't like it. It is a really, really good ride on its own, but when you compare it to other water and especially raft rides, it definitely falls short a little bit. So it comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, this hurts me to not put it higher. I tried to put it higher. Unfortunately, it has to come in here. That is the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros. This is one of my wife's favorite attractions in all of Epcot, and I really, really love it too. I love how low stakes it is. I love the scenery. I love that you can hop in and ride it without much of a wait. I love that it's at the back of the Epcot Pavilion or the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. And honestly, if you're not looking for it, it's kind of a hidden entrance, and I think that's really cool. Unfortunately, I think the Three Caballeros are kind of past their time in terms of relevance at Walt Disney World. It is a little corny and not really fitting in, I think, with the beautiful aspects of the ride. The screens are outdated. So I would love to see a revamp of Grand Fiesta Tour. But even as is, I think this is a really, really nice boat ride, quintessential Epcot attraction, and a great fit for the Mexico Pavilion. So it comes in at number 6. All right, we have made it to our top 5, the 5 best water-based attractions at Walt Disney World. Coming at number 5 is going to be a controversial one, Living with the Land. Now, I really, really wanted to put this at number 4. I think a lot of people watching this video are going to be screaming at me. Let me know down in the comments, please, if you are, that this should be higher on the list. Unfortunately, the reason why I don't have it higher is because I don't think that this ride calls to a lot of first time or rare visitors. I think if you're a family taking, once in a maybe 2 or 3 year trip to Magic King or to Walt Disney World, I don't think Living at the Land is going to be super high on their list. I don't also think that casual guests like it as much as us diehard theme park fans do. Now, with all that being said, let's gush about the ride. I love Living at the Land. This is quintessential Epcot. This is quintessential Disney, right? This is an amazing ride. Dark ride scenes, edutainment, just everything. There isn't a great queue, so that's a bummer. But Living at the Land is truly one of the most underrated rides at Walt Disney World. It's a great quintessential water ride. It's probably about 3 minutes too long, especially on the back end. I think if Disney could add a really good finale scene or a really good dark ride scene to the end of the ride, it would even make Living with the Land that much better. But even as is, Living with the Land is an amazing ride with a great Christmas overlay. It comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, I think a lot of people might have 4 and 5 flip flopped. We have Navi River Journey. I think in terms of underrated versus overrated, Living with the Land is definitely more underrated than Navi due to the crazy weights that Navi gets. But on its own, I just couldn't knock Navi. Navi River Journey is an absolutely gorgeous attraction. Obviously, due to budget cuts, we did not get what we could have gotten with this ride, and that being more animatronics, maybe a small drop, a little bit longer ride. But I think, as is, for those that don't know about the budget cuts and those families just taking a vacation to Walt Disney World, I think they're going to be much more impressed with Navi River Journey. The thematic richness of this ride is incredible. Obviously, the shaman animatronic at the end is absolutely groundbreaking. The song is as addicting as heck. That is the one like Disney theme song that I'm always singing throughout the day after I ride that ride. So while the waits are brutal and obviously it could have been longer, I still think Navi River Journey is one of the best water rides at Walt Disney World. That brings us to our top 3. Coming at number 3 is Pirates of the Caribbean at Magic Kingdom. I personally would have this below Navi River Journey because of really one reason, and that being that Pirates of the Caribbean already exists in a better form at Disneyland Paris and at Disneyland. So for me, this is the weakest version of the ride. And so as someone who isn't really a huge fan of cloned attractions, I don't really love this ride as much as Navi River Journey, which is super unique. But from an objective standpoint, obviously, I think Pirates of the Caribbean is probably one of the most popular attractions in all of Walt Disney World. This is a fan favorite. This is a ride that basically everyone gushes about after going to Magic Kingdom. It has an elite queue. It's a really long ride. This is just quintessential Disney right here. So, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean has to come in the top 3. Number 2 is Frozen Ever After in the Norway Pavilion at Epcot. This is another controversial one because so many theme park fans are huge fans of Maelstrom and didn't like that Frozen was taking it over. But objectively speaking, Frozen Ever After is absolutely incredible. Really, really great animatronics, amazing music, amazing visuals, an elite queue, really fun backwards and forwards drop. Even though it's not too thrilling, you're still getting some nice drops in there, which I think is really, really good. This is a good ride for kids. This is a good ride for teens and adults because of those drops. And honestly, who doesn't love Frozen? If you say you don't love Frozen, you're probably lying. So Frozen Ever After comes in at number 2. That brings us to our number 1, the best water-based attraction in all of Walt Disney World, and it is, of course, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. While I don't think Tiana's Bayou Adventure is a perfect attraction, I still think it's an elite attraction. If this ride was built from the ground up today, meaning it wasn't a reskin of Splash Mountain, I think it would be heralded as one of the best rides that Imagineers have ever done. It's a 10-minute long, slow, dark ride with an incredible, thrilling, heart pounding drop. To me, that's a perfect combo. I understand the complaints about the story. I understand the complaints that the drop doesn't really fit for the type of style of ride they're going with that classic fantasy and dark ride. But for me, as an adult who likes dark rides, but who also likes thrill, it's a perfect combination. The music's incredible. The visuals are incredible. Like I said earlier, it's not a perfect ride, but I think it is easily the best water-based attraction at Walt Disney World and one of the best water-based attractions built anywhere at any theme park in America. So with that being said, that is our ranking, guys. Please let me know down in the comments where you agree and disagree with me. I have been spending 99% of my time over on Twitter at Ranking the Mouse. You guys can follow me there. I'm really sorry I've been so quiet here on YouTube. Life has been crazy now that we have a baby. I've been spending, like I said, most of my time on Twitter, but you guys can go ahead and follow me over there and go ahead and subscribe down below. I'm hopefully going to be posting a lot more videos now that I'm back on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching. And with that, we'll see you next time. Peace.